Hey, awesome people. Welcome, Mr. C here. Welcome back to our fraction series. Make sure that if you learned anything new today, click the like, click the subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. Today's video is going to focus on equivalent fractions, specifically using number lines. This video is going to be our practice problems video, so if you need the teaching video, it is in the description below. Again, this video is going to focus on using number lines to create equivalent fractions practice problems. So, with that being said, let's jump into it. Well, I've got two problems for us today, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get started, make sure, like I say in every video, make sure you have a growth mindset. This is something that can be quite challenging, creating equivalent fractions, but it's something that is crazy important. So, stick with it, ask questions, ask people around you, get out a whiteboard, get a pencil, paper, rewatch the videos, do whatever you gotta do to keep getting better. Do not give up. Practice, practice. Use your mistakes. Help you get better. All right, mistakes make our brains grow. So, with that being said, two problems for us. The first one I want us to do is see if we can create an equivalent fraction for the fraction 1/3. So pause me, set up 1/3 on the number line. So hopefully you pause the video and set up 1/3 on your number line. If not, that is okay. You can tune in with me here. So I'm going to see if I can do this. Here is 1, there is 2, and there is 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've got thirds up here. We are looking for 1/3. But before I do that, I want to point out a couple things. First things first is from here to here is a third. From here to here is a third. That would be 2/3. And then from here to here would be a third, and that would be 3/3. Okay, I want to point that out just because sometimes people forget that that's the case. All right, let me clean this up because we are only focusing on 1/3 right now. So here is 1/3. I'm going to draw kind of a circle here, make it stand out a little bit more. All right, so here is 1/3 for us. Now, can you create an equivalent fraction for 1/3? Do you have any ideas what we could do? If you have an idea, go ahead and pause it and give it your shot on your own. So, in our teaching video, what I was pointing out to us is there's two different ways that we can create equivalent fractions. We can create an equivalent fraction by multiplying our numerator and denominator by the same number, or by dividing our numerator and denominator by the same number. And kind of a way to think through that is, let's say that you're like, you know what, maybe I can divide this fraction. Well, if you're going to divide this fraction, you got to find something that can divide evenly for both the numerator and the denominator. And the only thing that we could really have in this one, if we divided, would be the number 1. Well, 1 divided by 1 is 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3, so that really wouldn't do us anything. But I wonder if we could multiply our numerator and our denominator. All right, I wonder if we could do that. Really, we can multiply this by any number we choose. But in this problem here, I'm going to say we try to multiply it by 2. All right, let's try to multiply it by 2. Let's multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. And before we figure out what that's going to equal here, let's go ahead and divide this number line again. All right, so let's break this 1/3 and let's break it up into another section here. So let me show you what I would think about doing. So from 0 to 1/3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that in half. And from 1/3 to 2/3, I'm going to break that in half. And then from 2/3 to 3/3, I'm going to break that in half again. So what we've done is we've taken this number line that was broken into thirds, and we've broken it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal sections. So let me show you. From here to here is a sixth. From here to here is a sixth. That would be 2 sixths. From here to here is 3 sixths. Bet you're getting the hang of it. 4 sixths. What's this one going to be? 5 sixths, and then the last one would be 6 sixths. All right, so that's what we've done. So we've taken the thirds and we've broken those into half, which has created 6. All right, let me clean this up because we're just focusing on 1/3 and whatever is equivalent to 1/3. So how many sixths are equal to 1/3? Well, 1 6, 2 6. 1/3 is equal to 2 6. Notice the math down here. 1 times 2 in our numerator is 2. Multiply the denominator by the same number. Notice we multiplied our numerator denominator by the same number. 3 times 2 equals 6. And we could do another fraction here if we wanted to. I'm not going to in this problem, but if you wanted to challenge yourself, set yourself up another one. All right, if you really want to challenge yourself on this, set yourself up another one and say, all right, what's another equivalent fraction I can make here? All right, try that on your own. Give yourself a challenge. Let me show you our last problem. So final problem I have for you is going to be dealing with the fraction 8/10. So what I want you to do, pause me, set up 8/10 on your number line. Well, hopefully you set up 8/10 on your own on the number line. If not, join me. So let me see. This looks kind of like the halfway point there. And maybe a little bit further over. What about right here? All right. So I need 10 sections. All right. 10 equal sections. I'm going to do my best. They're not going to be perfect. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew that one was too far over. I could just tell when I did it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here is 10 over here at the end. Again, it's not perfect. Some of y'all are artists, and I know for a fact that yours is perfect because some of y'all are probably really good at this stuff. I make mistakes though, so thanks for being patient with me. All right, so what I have on the screen here is our number line, and I have divided it into 10 equal sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and what we want to do is we want to represent 8/10. All right, so 8/10 on this number line would be located where? Well, let's look. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Way over here is 8/10. All right, it's kind of far on here, but this right here is where 8/10 is located. Right there. I'll put a big old dot there and make it easy to see. All right, here's 8/10. Now, our job is to see if we can create an equivalent fraction for 8/10. So, if you think you may know, pause me. Try it on your own. So, trying to figure out how could we represent 8/10 as an equivalent fraction. And what I've talked to you about before, and we did in our previous problem, is we could multiply our numerator and our denominator by any number that we wanted to, as long as they're the same number. But my question is, could we divide 8 and 10? Could we divide 8 and 10? Well, the answer to that is all going to come down to, are we able to divide both the numerator and denominator by the same number. And this is going to take practice and something you'll get more practice on doing. But we can divide 8 by the number 2, and we can divide 10 by the number 2. All right? Anybody know what 8 divided by 2 is? 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And what about 10? Well, 10 divided by 2 equals 5. So what I want us to do is I want to see if this math actually matches up in our model. So let's see if we can represent 4/5 on this number line. Okay? So let's see if we can do that. Here is 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. Let me prove it to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice this is a 5th. Each of those sections are 5th. Each of these sections down here were a 10th. Notice how much bigger a 10th is. It takes 2/10 to make 1/5, and that's something you probably are noticing. If so, that's awesome. But my question to you was, does the math match the model? And ladies and gentlemen, I think it does. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here is where 4/5 is located. And again, number lines. This strategy here is a really good strategy to get you started. Eventually, you're going to get so good at this that you're going to naturally start doing the math way, where you're multiplying or you're dividing it. Remember, when we multiply or divide our fractions, we have to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number. We have to divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. That's really, really important, okay? My challenge to you is to practice some of these on your own. Grab a whiteboard, pencil, paper, something like that. Write down the fraction 9/10. Write down the fraction 1/3. See if you can create equivalent fractions. The more you practice, the better you are going to get. Make sure, if you learned anything new, click the like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. That's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. C, out.